Hello, world, and welcome back to the long-awaited return, which is what we were just talking about because we took a hiatus. Um, you went on vacation, I went on vacation. We've been doing things. But with that being said, this is the Brothers Blue podcast. With that being said, and today we're going to talk about a couple of movies. So it's a little bit different, but as you guys see what movies we're talking about, you'll understand why we're talking about them. So, with that being said, that's Brother Kyle.
And that is Brother Cody. And another thing that we didn't really get to off camera, but I was sort of just thinking about is that a lot of our before we like turned this into like a podcast or whatever, we were doing a lot of top five videos, random like political videos. But again, a lot of those top five videos were TV, movies, and things on like actors, directors. We did a lot of movie stuff. And so this is the first time in our podcast that we're talking about like this pop culture stuff. And like I'm all for it. Like, yeah.
Dude, love it. Exactly the same.
Oh,
So
you know
why
what?
don't you know what? This is what I'll do is I'll introduce what the two movies are, and then we can talk about them based off of your notes and the other things that we want to say. So the two movies that we're going to talk about are Civil War, which was an A24 production. It has Kirsten Dunst in it and some other good actors. Um, it's just a good movie. And then the other one that we're going to talk about is Don't Look Up. And this was a Netflix movie, and it has Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence. Again, just a really good movie.
Yeah, which is a point that I was going to get to later, but since you already brought it up, I'll just say one thing and then we'll get into the first one that I wanted to talk about, which was Civil War. But since you brought it up, you were like, oh, Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Timothy Chalamet, Meryl Streep.
Nick Offerman,
Don't Look Up is so stacked when it comes to like the cast.
actors.
But
Yeah.
that's the second movie we're going to talk about. The first one we're going to talk about is Civil War. I'm really sorry. My thing I have to plug my laptop in. Just give me 1 second.
Oh, no, you're fine. So I can actually bring up the first note, and this is actually good because I would like you to maybe expand on this idea. But the first note is balkanization versus succession. And so I guess secession is, like what happened in the United States in the 1860s. And balkanization specifically refers to the breakup of the Soviet Union in the 80s, right? 1980s.
Yeah.
Right. So again, they're just like very different things.
Well, okay.
Is there a similarity that you were going for?
No, yeah, because I would have to look up what it's called exactly, but like what Ireland tried to do by achieving their own independence
Sure.
was the secessionist movement. They were trying not to be part of
Got
the
it.
United Kingdom.
Right.
And just like the Confederacy was not trying to be part of the United States.
Right.
It was a secessionist movement. And so that's again like we had a pretty long conversation about balkanization, and
Right. Right.
the thing that we came to like conclude was that like it was really a reverse balkanization. That's my dog. My dog just, yeah. Okay, so it was a reverse balkanization basically where 50 states turned into fewer. And there's a huge difference between secession and balkanization. And um Yeah. I don't
Nope,
know like
nope.
where
Yeah, and
the movie that
I'll
falls. Like where does that fall?
so I'll make the connection. The connection is that in the movie Civil War, it's a movie again, so it's hypothetical. We've talked about that whole thing. But what happens in Civil War is not so much a secession, it is a balkanization.
No, it's a reverse balkanization.
Right. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So the dude on fire in the tire just reminds me of, isn't it the Tiananmen Square dude?
No. Well, that guy stood in front of a tank and that was the tank guy. No, the person that lit themselves on fire,
Yeah.
that was Vietnam.
Word. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, in that movie, there's a very graphic scene where a dude literally has a tire restraining his arms, and
Yeah.
then the tire is set on fire.
Yeah. So the dude's on fire. Do you remember any? Because the thing I was thinking is that girl falls into a pit of bodies, and it's like she throws up, and it's like I would probably throw up too. Like that was,
Dude, that's exactly what happened. We were watching this movie with mom, and mom was like, I would have done the same thing.
yeah, exactly. So the movie Civil War is graphic.
Very.
Yeah.
Did you want to bring up the last one?
Yeah, kind of actually, because it is great. Literally the movie starts because I've seen it a couple times. At this point, it starts with Nick Offerman
Right.
as the president of the United States giving a televised speech,
Yep.
and it ends with him getting fucking sorry, double tapped like yeah, and it's not anti it's very climactic. Like
Very.
it doesn't disappoint.
And also, I like the full circle aspect of it because it, like you said, the beginning of the movie is actually very like gripping, and it's like, oh, because Nick Offerman has a strong, powerful voice. So yeah, that's the thing is like the beginning of the movie is very gripping and compelling, and all the way to the end.
Yeah. It's funny because like you're watching the end and you're like, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? And
Right.
then it just happens, and you're like, well,
You know it's going to. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
the
When
movie Civil
they
War, check
tactic
it out. Good job. Like, yeah.
when they tactically enter the White House, that is just an excellent scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The military prowess displayed by the Western forces is pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yes, it is. All right. So then let's move on to the next movie, Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
Um, and I actually said this in my conversation with Andrew recently. Like, or sorry, science,
Yeah.
mainstream science, is an institution of America that I think will withstand anything that our democracy throws at it. And mainstream science is not something I'm going to sit here and argue with. Like, you're going to argue against ecology and physics and like biology. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. But yeah, like flat earthers or people who didn't think or think we didn't go to the moon. It's like what's happening right now? This whole we did actually have a conversation previously about anti-intellectualism, and it's similar, obviously, but
Well,
not.
it falls into that
Well,
bracket.
no, the thing about the anti-science thing is like when you're again, like it's danger. It can be more dangerous than the
Fair enough.
anti-intellectualism thing when you're, uh spreading conspiracies about vaccines and things like
Arguing against climate science. And like,
exactly.
dude, that's my thing is like, it
Yes.
snowed in New Orleans this year, and Alaska is like drying up. So like this is my thing is like in the 90s it was called global warming, and that term uh got kind of pushed to the side for the better term of climate change. So that's the thing is like climates are gonna, exist in their own vacuums, but at the same time, a climate doesn't exist without affecting another one or the one right next to it, right?
Aren't climates constantly changing?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And so, oh, that's the argument is that I think human activity is increasing or making climate change worse.
Yeah.
Because,
So
like you said, yes,
there's
climates
things
are
like
always going to change.
the Pleistocene and the other scene. Like this is geologists are going to refer to this age as the Anthropocene because
Anthropocene.
of
Correct.
the effect that we have had on the planet, the whole planet. We've had sorry, but like if there's
Nope.
8
You're
billion
good.
humans, there's 8 billion humans on the planet, we're probably going to have an effect on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what I also want to say is that you and I could just go off and off and off about anti-science. So maybe we should move on.
Yeah. I don't know why my next note is just Adam McKay because I was thinking all I was rewatching the movie Vice, which again, it's like Adam McKay made Step Brothers,
Adam McKay doesn't make bad movies.
but he
There's
also
never
made
been an
Don't Look
Adam
Up.
McKay movie that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's also, I think maybe yeah, it's not in your notes, but whatever. He does comedy and drama with like the drop of a hat, and it's like, why are you able to do this? And then, yeah, actually, I'll say this about Don't Look Up. That's a good example of drama and comedy. It's a
Yeah,
very dramatic movie, but
yeah.
it's
I
also
guess it's
super
like
funny.
a dramedy.
Right, right,
Because again, uh, yeah. Oh, Vice, not
right.
really a comedy. I mean,
No,
there's funny parts in it, like
right.
parts about Rumsfeld and things like that.
But he also did Step Brothers, which is like the epitome of a comedy movie.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And then
Exactly.
Don't Look Up is literally like,
The
dude,
mix.
the dynamic between Jonah and Jennifer Lawrence is gold. Yeah.
I'm sorry, girl with the dragon tattoo. I'm the press secretary. Yeah.
Are you her son? Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, and actually, the next note that you have is something that you've said, and
Yeah.
we'll just finish on that point, and I'll say it. So, Timothy Chalamet, Jennifer Lawrence, Jonah Hill, Leonardo DiCaprio, Meryl Streep. This movie is so stacked with good actors that it's like almost Adam McKay didn't have to do anything.
Except write an awesome script, which he did. Because that's like, dude, we were the whole idea behind talking about these movies is that they're topical, right?
Right. Yep. We didn't say
So
that. We should have said that.
yeah, so I think we should try because I brought some up that I don't think were very good, and you obviously agreed. I think we should try to think of some more.
Topical movies?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Um, great. So that actually kind of segues to us winding down and ending this because that is not going to be our next topic. Um, Next, we're going to talk about, oh, shoot, excuse me. something that I've been wanting to talk about, and that's like capitalism and economics and stuff like that. But I want to talk offline with you on more about how like I want that to go and the
Yeah,
things that I want to talk about.
and
Um,
we already have another topic about the again the biology of
belief.
of belief. Yeah, yeah. So again, that's not the same conversation. And then we should
Nope.
also have movie. So again, long game. Let's play the long game. We got the idea for a lot of episodes, which is what we wanted to talk about. Let's try to do this regularly.
Exactly. And so it says New Year, same schedule every Monday. So we don't know what day we're going to be doing it, but we will be having a live stream going forward. I'm hoping,
Yeah, and it will
right?
probably be Mondays for the
Yeah,
foreseeable
probably Monday.
for the foreseeable future. Yeah.
Yeah. All right then. So I'm Brother Cody, and with that being said,
I'm Brother Kyle, and knowledge is power.